everyone, welcome to Hedgehog Hollow. Today's one of my favourite. I love doing these. I love doing something that's a fan favourite that you ask me all the time. And it's always like, what tools do I need? Whether I'm starting out or maybe I'm looking for something to do a particular task. So I'm going to do a series. There's going to be 3 videos to start with. And if you want more, you can tell me what subject you're interested in. So today I'm talking about my top tools, the things I use all the time, the things I keep in my little Hedgehog Hollow cup, which you can get below the video in our merch section if you would like one of those too. And if you do, you make sure you tag us because I want to see them on your desktop. Or maybe it's things I keep in my top drawer, or just the things I feel I need all the time and you may want to have in your stash. So one caveat I'm going to add is that I always say craft tools are personal. So I might use blending brushes, but you love blending foams, or I might say these scissors, but you love a different scissors. So I'm giving you my 2 cents and you can find out what works for you. But these are tried and tested tools that I use all the time. Then we're going to do a top adhesives, and then I'm going to also do a top cleaning products. So ways I clean my craft room, products I use to clean my craft room, because we all love to make a mess, but sometimes it's hard to clear up. So we're going to do that. And if you want to see some other top 10s, you can let me know in those comments below. So for this one, I'm going to just start with my surface. Now, I love working on a glass mat. For videos, I always use the travel size just because it's a really nice size for the frame. You can see everything in it. I don't have to keep moving it around. And I can zoom in on it and it's close enough for you to see everything. Now, depending on your space, depends on what size is going to work for you. And I did do a video the other day on the 3 sizes of glass mat available. There is this size, there is the large size, and then there's also a square one, which is not the Tim Holtz, it's just a Tonic glass mat. But I do recommend, if you buy just the square one, getting an easy clean mat to go with it, which is what normally comes on this side here. And the reason I say that is because when you do things, some techniques do work better on the easy clean mat, or they maybe work differently for a different effect. So surface is super, super important, and I love working on a glass mat. So that's my first one. The next one is a good paper trimmer. So paper trimmers are just so, so important. I love this Tim Holtz paper trimmer. You can fit a full sheet of 8.5 by 11 and A4 in it. It has markings for our common sizes, all the kind of things you're going to find you need. Now, there are bigger versions. There is a Tim Holtz 12 by 12 one, and there are lots of paper trimmers on the market, but I really like this one. And if you want to dive deeper into all of this, or different types of inks and different types of adhesive, grab our Essentials to Card Making course below, and you'll find there's 32 lessons that really goes deep into all these things. If you want to understand them, know the differences, I show you like 6 different types of paper trimmers and which one you might possibly want, so you can check all those things out. The next thing is a craft pick. Now, this is a $5 tool that I say every crafter needs. Whether you're a Cricut crafter, whether you're a DIYer, whether you're a paper crafter, you're going to use this tool for everything. It's great for weeding. It's great for just poking things out or popping them on or holding them while you heat. I love it. It's just one of those tools that you'll probably find I use in pretty much every video. And then I chose, because I really did struggle, it started out as a top 5, then it was a top 10, and it's kind of ended up into a top 20. So I'm just calling it my essentials. But here are the media spatulas. I love these. I use them for all sorts of things. Again, yes, I use them with stencils and things to put out mediums, but they're the perfect size for pretty much any bottle, whether it's a Nuvo bottle, a Ranger bottle. I apply paint with them. I use them to put down adhesive. It's one of those tools, because they're silicone, so they're heat proof, all those kinds of things. I just love using them. They come in a pack of 2 like this. Now, as I'm talking about all of this, everything's going to be mentioned below in the order I'm showing it to you as well. Plus, if we have any coupon codes, we're going to add those in, the ones that are available to everyone. If you want exclusive coupon codes and a Hedgehog Hollow birthday card and everything, hit that join button below and you will save a ton of money on all your crafty shopping. But the other thing I'm going to say are paintbrushes. They are essentials. And for me, a water brush is a great option because you can travel with it on the go and do watercolors. You can add alcohol into it when you're doing your alcohol coloring. You can use it just like a paintbrush dry. You can just use it you can use it pretty much everywhere, anywhere, for anything. So I have one of these filled with alcohol, and then I have one filled with blending solution, and I have another one filled with water, and they're all labeled accordingly. But I love these. They come in a pack of 2 with different nibs, and there's a fine and a medium in each pack. I love these ones. Also, the Tim Holtz one is really nice because he does a flat tip, and this piece here screws off, so then you can make it into a large round, which I also think is a really cool idea. So I'll link both of those up below. Now, I'm going to go into this in a bit more detail when we do our cleaning up, but some definite essentials are spray bottles of different things. So I love the Distress Sprayer. And the reason I've kind of transitioned to this one is it gives me a nice fine spray, or I can do like this dribbly spray, you know, when we want to get really cool effects. And it also has the lock in it as well. So I like both of those parts of it. And then I really love these squeaky clean dispensers from Brutus Monroe. And all you do is, it's a bit like the nail things. You just close this, you pump the lid, you get out what you need, and you clean. And I have one of these filled with water, one filled with isopropyl alcohol, and one filled with stamp cleaner. And they sit on my desk upstairs, and I use them all the time. So that's that. Okay, what else do you need? What else do I need, I should say? I love this electronic eraser. It's probably the newest addition to my craft room. You just, when you're working, you just hold your thumb here and you press this button, and it literally erases everything. Way more than even the sand eraser. In fact, I didn't get the sand eraser out because I think this has taken over. I can't remember the last time I touched my sand eraser. Literally, you press the button, it does it. I did some flocking the other day, thermoware flocking, and the flock went outside of where I wanted it to be. And so I just took my eraser and it took the flock off. Like, I was like, wow, this thing is really, really good. And there is a crafter's version out that's way more expensive and way harder to get. So I'm just gonna link up the Amazon version that was much cheaper, and it's on Prime. And then I'm going to go tweezers. So I have tried a million types of tweezers. I think every company makes a tweezer, but I love these. These are Tula Pink. They're a Swiss tweezer, and Swiss refers to the shape at the tip here. And they're just really sharp. So again, for weeding and things like that, they're great. They're nice and sharp. You have a large surface area to place a gem, so you can really get in there. And of course, you can hold things, pick things up, those kinds of things. And don't they just look gorgeous? I'm gonna put it over the white so you can see. I just love that kind of burnt oil design on them. Again, links below for those. Now, one thing you're not going to be surprised at are scissors, and a good pair of scissors is just so important. So I picked out my Tim Holtz scissors. In fact, I spoke to the girls upstairs. I'm like, so if you were going to do a video of top 10 tools, what would be in there? Everyone said Tim Holtz scissors. Now, the reason I love these ones so much, and there's a haberdashery version, there are lefty versions, so everyone is covered, is they come in 3 sizes. So these are great as, you know, like detail scissors, great for fabric or just large sheets of paper or just like doing a rough cut. And then these are kind of those in-between size. But they have a nice squidgy handle. Even Greg uses them. We have them as our kitchen handle because the handle's all squidgy. And so his big hands fit in as much as my little hands fit in. My girls can use them. Tilly's obviously on safety scissors, but Maddie uses these. They are non-stick, so you can cut foam strips and adhesives and nothing's going to stick to them, which I love. They do have a micro serration in them, so they are super sharp. And you want that serration to be on the bottom so you don't see it on your project. All right, what else did I consider an essential for me? I'm going to say a good adhesive. Now, as I mentioned, I'm going to do a top 10 adhesives video, so I'm going to dive more into that. But your favorite tape runner, and I have to say, I've kind of transitioned into this Thermoweb one. I really, really like it. It's still at a great price point, but it's nice and strong, and I'm actually down to my last refill. That's how much I love it, and I've kind of transitioned away from funky tape into this one, and it's just personal preference. I find this one lasts a little bit longer, and I found it stuck some heavier things than my funky tape does, but that's just my opinion. And then a Teflon bone folder. I was the biggest anti-Teflon bone folder person you'll ever find until I actually tried one. I was like, oh, this is why they're so good. And Greg gave me the scientific spiel on why they're so good, but they really, really are great. This one has a nice pointed end so you can score. It has the rounded end for even surface area. So when you're like firming up that fold in your card, you will notice a difference going from a metal one to a Teflon one. And then I had to pick out some kind of blending tool. You know, I've been a blending brush person for the longest time. I have brushes behind me. I have these that I've done lots of different reviews on. I have the blending foams. I have pretty much every blending tool going, but I still love the makeup brushes. And I have a whole video comparing all the different kinds versus picket fence versus tailored expressions versus all of those. I still love these. And my favorite ones I actually keep down here. I didn't even keep them in the craft room. I love these ones. These with this handle is just really, really nice. They're just as good as these, but I just love this handle on this. So I'll link those up for you. Then I had to choose sticky grid, and I'm sure anybody who knows me knows I love sticky grid because you can do everything with it. So Misty is definitely going to be on my essential tools. We might as well talk about that now. A stamp platform. an essential. Whether you go Tim Holtz, whether you go We Are Memory Keepers, whether you go Stamparatus. Again, I have a comparison video on the channel. One of those things I get asked all the time, what stamp platform to buy? Well, you can go and find out. But inside of here, I have sticky grid, which means I don't need magnets. And if you watch my videos for a long time, you'll know that this piece with all these boo-boos on has been in here a long time, and I use it all the time, and it's still sticky. This is great because everything just sticks in here. And then if I remove everything out, I just take a small piece of sticky grid and I pop it in the bottom like this, and then everything sticks the same way because it comes in different sizes. Or you can take a big sheet of sticky grid like this and cut it down to size. Plus it's great on your die cutting platforms, which is what it's actually meant for. Or I put a piece down and it holds whatever I'm working on my glass mat. But it's just one of those things that I love. And if you want to know how to install it in your MISTI and how to use it and all those kinds of things, it's one of the top viewed videos on this channel. So if you go to the Hedgehog Hollow channel, which you're on now, you can just hit videos and you'll be able to see it because it's one of our top viewed videos. All right, a few other things, essentials. An acrylic block or two is always handy. Yes, I love my MISTI, but sometimes I literally just want to stamp out, or it's great for using as a watercolor surface or for different techniques. So for sure, you want a couple of acrylic blocks. Everybody needs some purple tape, and this one's great because it's the 1/2 inch size and it fits in a Scotch tape dispenser, like my mermaid, and I have a narwhal upstairs and all of those fun things. I love my funky dispensers, but this is great for die cutting, for holding down stencils. It comes in a wide width as well. Again, I'll link everything up for you. You can check out all the videos on the channel using purple tape, but it is great. I mean, I can't say any more about it. They're changing the design slightly, only to go that it's going to have the Thermoweb like pinwheel on it, just so you know it's Thermoweb and it's not one of the knockoff brands. But other than that, this is fab. And then finally, a heat gun, because we don't just use heat gun for embossing. This is the new Wagner one, which is really nice because you can use it like this, but then it has this stand, so you can stand it up and do all sorts of things, or after you're done and it's hot. But we can burn wood with it, we can heat emboss, we can dry watercolor, we can dry out alcohol inks. We can do so many different techniques with a heat gun. And this one has the 2 channels in it. So you have the low channel, like the Ranger Heat It, and then you have the high channel, like the old Wagner heat gun. So this one is pretty much everything you could ever need. And then, of course, some inks. So whatever your essentials are, I picked out Clearmark and Gina K Amalgam, probably because they're my most used inks. But, you know, whatever your preference is, and if you want to know more about inks, again, check out our course below, because in there is absolutely everything you need to know. So I put in there what's a hybrid, what's a pigment fusion, what's a pigment, what's a dye, what's an embossing ink, what's a gluing, etc, etc. So check that out below. There's a course down there, has 32 videos in it. Loads and loads of things for you to check out. So they are my essentials. I've linked them below. Be sure to have hit that subscribe and rung the bell, because tomorrow I'll have another tip trick tutorial, or maybe something a little bit different for you. And then also check out the join button, because there is lots of ways to save by that and be part of the community and get a Hedgehog Hollow birthday card. What could be better? So thank you for joining me. I will see you again tomorrow. I hope you have fun crafting today, and I'll see you then. Bye.